So I first started in publishing 10 years ago now, and it was originally meant to be a stopgap between going on and doing my PhD. But I quickly found that publishing is fascinating. There are so many different sort of debates and practices and differing views on the best way to do things, and I found peer review in particular was a fascinating part of this. So I originally started working on individual manuscripts, but I now head the peer review team for F1000 platforms. So I work very closely with our peer review team. They are a fantastic group of people, and together we make sure that the articles are peer reviewed as efficiently as possible, but also as ethically as possible, and also try and make sure that the author and reviewer experience is the best it can be. Separate to that, I'm also involved in making sure that the behind the scenes for the editorial team on F1000 is going as smoothly as possible. So making sure we have the right tools to keep things running and be as efficient as we can. So fundamentally, the more information that's available, the better. And open research really helps with this because it makes sure that that underlying data, that metadata, all of the information is available and accessible up front. So open access, obviously a big part of open research, that's making sure that these papers are accessible, a wider audience of people are able to really engage with the research. And when you combine that with open data, you combine that with open peer review, you've got this huge wealth of information there that people can work with. And I think that is really beneficial for two key reasons. The first is that we're preventing unnecessarily duplication of work, of research. But then also on the other side of things, we're facilitating that replication of research. And we're also making sure that people are building off a really firm foundation of research and go on to do further. So I actually think it's really fantastic that people are starting to ask this sort of question. I'm usually asked sort of how can we improve peer review, or how can we improve the peer review process? But peer reviewers are fundamental to this, and it's really important we recognise the value that they bring to the system. You cannot have, in many ways, academic publishing without the peer reviewers. And I think part of the reason why their input is lost slightly is in a traditional model, you don't see the peer review reports. And if you can't see those peer review reports, you're not thinking about them. And if you're not thinking about them, then you're almost definitely not thinking about the people who wrote them. I think one of the things that F1000 does really well is highlight the impact that peer reviewers have on academic publishing and the academic ecosystem, because those reports are published. You can see how much the reviewer's written, you can see the time and the effort that they've put into it, but also it's published alongside their name. So we are able to give credit to that specific reviewer for the time and the effort they've put into improving the academic article that they've reviewed. So I've been really lucky in that I've been able to grow with F1000 in the last 10 years, and I'm really excited to see where the next decade takes us. Obviously, one of the biggest topics at the moment is AI in academic publishing, but I think a lot of those conversations at the moment are about the risks involved. Those risks are important, we mustn't ignore them, we are doing things to act upon them. However, there's also so many opportunities that I think this brings us. So F1000 already do use AI in some ways. We have plagiarism detectors, we have image manipulation software that looks for this sort of thing, and we also have sort of software that tries to find the best reviewers to be invited for a manuscript. But there's so much more that can be done in this area, and I'm really excited to see the new tools that are going to come out and hopefully sort of change things for reviewers on a fundamental level. What we want to be able to see is reviewers to be able to spend their time reviewing the manuscript. So taking out that unnecessary burden of things that can be checked by AI, and really making sure that reviewers can focus on reviewing the content of an academic article. Another space which I think is going to be really interesting in the next 10 years is reviewer recognition. So F1000 is in a really good place to help drive this, because we're publishing the peer review reports, we're publishing the reviewers' names, we're really making sure that these review reports are considered part of the academic record. We're assigning DOIs to them, they're citable. And I think that this is going to become more important in the next sort of few years.